had my daughter sit at the table with her OCD. I may have touched something, so I may get in trouble shortly. For my kids. They're my why. They're the reason why I do what I do. I want to leave a legacy for them, so I want them to be included in everything that I do, so they understand that there's a sacrifice for it, but I'm not sacrificing time with them. They're very helpful. My eldest always sets up my stuff for me. They speak to people who come by and ask questions. They're very helpful. When I go from whether it be store to store or event to event talking about the book, it's always women that come up to me that either follow me on social media or that heard of me, and then there's other women who don't know who I am, and they thank me for sharing my story. They thank me for having a story and having the courage to share something that they've also experienced and thought that they were going through on their own. They're grateful for the lessons that are in the book and just the positivity of the whole movement. I have women that come up to me, read a little on my bio, and ask me to come and speak at their non-for-profit for women, for shelters, for facilities for teen moms, just by reading a snippet of the bio. I do travel a lot. For 2017, I probably traveled the most in my entire life. And a lot of it was doing book signings and speaking in the US, in South Africa, and those opportunities really came from sharing my story on social media, and these organizations and companies reaching out to me to ask me to come and share with other women. I think the most memorable for me so far has been speaking in Cape Town, South Africa. I went there to do a book signing for a non-for-profit for women and had no idea really what I was getting into. I didn't expect that they wanted me to speak. And I went and shared my story and asked every woman there to share their story as well. And we seen how similar we all are, no matter what age we were, no matter where our backgrounds were. We just had so much in common, a lot more than we thought. I've seen the corner of your beautiful face. I'm like, I know who that is. Finished. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. Good to see you here, Mama. I'm going to grab one of your books today because I didn't get a chance to do it the last time.
No problem. Patience, and at the end of the day, stuff that you wasted time on, what you're going to improve on tomorrow. And by the end of the year, you have a memorable collection of your year's greatest moments.
I love that. That's big.
Yeah, hundreds on my bed, sexing with the bill. Roses in my wallet and I'm flexing it for real. Racks on racks on racks, I look like rookie of the year.
I'm currently writing a series.
Getting booty over here.
Just because I need to get out of the house. I'm babysitting. Like, I need to get out of the house. But I know it's you from wherever.
What looks familiar? The title, the book cover, or the book cover?
No, like just your name. Insta or something like that.
Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Like I go to church, so maybe that's why.
Maybe exactly where you heard it, because it's a series of self-help faith-based books.
That's probably why. Why though? But anyways, okay, so tell me about it.
Okay. Depending on what you mean by loss, whether it be material things or humans.
But everything.
There's a lot in there.
Like genuinely everything.
I definitely feel that there's stuff in there that'll help you.
Well, especially since I'm sure that it's driving me nuts. But it doesn't
maybe
matter.
It's Instagram, maybe.
I've got a lot of really cool friends who know a lot of people like cool. So maybe that's probably like, I'm going to go back and find it and then I'll like be like, I know now where it was or whatever. Who knows? Anyways, it's really cool to meet you.
You too.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
Good, buy your book.
Thank you.
I just know that I know.
You want me to sign it for you? Once you catch it through, I can sign it for you. For me, purple is my favorite color. It resonates with me. It's my happy color. And then when I was researching colors and their history, that's where I added in the turquoise when I was determining my brand. Yeah. I gotta sign this lady's book. Thank you.
boy. Thank you.
Thank you. How do you spell your name?
Michelle,
Stand there. I was kind of considered one of the nerdy ones in high school. I hung around all the, kids that did bad stuff, but I was very much about going to class. I'm not skipping class, did my homework, honor roll student. I was great in English class. I was great at writing out my thoughts. I think I'm much better at writing than I am speaking. So writing wasn't always something I wanted to do, but I'm good at it. You know what? Sometimes we have certain qualities about ourselves that we don't realize what we have them for. And I have always been, I'm gonna say bold enough to be transparent. Whether things that happen to me or whatever. And other people are like, oh my God, did you just say that? Like out loud, like just like that? It was never an issue to me. So for me to be bold and transparent about my own life experience and write it out to have people read, it wasn't hard. Hi, haven't seen you in forever.
It's been like 2 years or so. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Coming, for sure. You're right at the front too, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's so authentic too, which is really great. You have such a great energy. I'm always like, I make sure I connect and stuff. So your son?
This is my son,
Hi,
yeah.
How are you? What's your name, hon?
Hi.
Mariah. Nice to meet you. This is your baby, huh?
Yeah. He's entertaining me.
It's going to be relaunching soon.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That I totally understand. I had to learn that, I guess, myself. I mean, there are some days where it's like, okay, on one account there's like 1,600 followers, but then you look at the likes and then you look at how many people saw it. It's like, oh, you're watching, but
yes, but it's not the engagement.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So I've learned when I come out and do stuff like this, women that come and talk to me, it's like they're not, they call themselves like silent social media users.
Yes,
they don't like to like or comment anything, but they have a lot of positive stuff to say. So they're watching it for motivation and inspiration, but they don't like to.
Definitely, I know what you mean. And I learned that, write your story, and you're very vulnerable too. How do you feel? Like, I'm an introvert, so I'm learning to be. I can be vulnerable like this, no problem. Yeah. So being vulnerable like that is something that I'm working on.
You know what? Most people who don't know me personally, when they meet me and they ask me, they actually assume that in person I'm this big personality, loud. I'm like, actually, I'm extremely introverted.
Me too. Yeah.
I've learned to do it while afraid.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's for the greater good.
Yes.
So sometimes I got to leave the introvert at home.
It's so true. But it's so true. And if it's your calling and your purpose, you realize like I have to do this.
Yeah.
Or else like this is what I'm on this earth for.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's so, but it's really inspiring to see, especially a woman who's in Toronto. I know you're in Oshawa?
Whitby.
But you're still in GTA, right? But most of the women that I gravitate towards tend to be in the States, right? So it's nice to have someone at home, that is doing that, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure if you were filming.
Hi. I have never seen you without locks.
I know. That's my hug. I have another one I have to deliver from Monique. I came to deliver.
Hi. How are you?
And I came to get a book from Monique.
Yes.
So which one does she not have?
I know she has the first one, so you can get her the affirmation she might appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just say hi to your hubby. Hi.
How you doing, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
You too?
Which one?
Yes. No, Monique wanted to come, but her life.
Totally
I
understand.
told her I was coming. She's like, oh my God, please give her a hug for me and get a book for me. Yeah.
So
Where do I get it?
write the first book so quickly, because some people take years to write a book. There are people I know who've been saying for 10 years that they want to write a book. People, we make excuses for ourselves, self-sabotage. We say we don't have enough time. We say, we don't have this or we don't have that. There's going to be obstacles. It's get over it. How bad do you want it? Do you really want to write it? Dedicate yourself to it. Set some goal and get it done.